Hey everybody, we are live. See,
Hello.
he's waving at you. I'm here with my son Zach, and I'm really proud of him because he was willing. I forgot to mute that tab, so I will be giving away some channel memberships in a little while. So sorry about that. I forgot that that wasn't muted. Anyways, I'm really proud of this one here because yeah, he was happy to come on and chat. He had been a little bit nervous previous to this to
Hey, don't bite me, Pixel.
that's Pixel
She
biting
bit
his
me.
hand. She bit him. Anyway, to come on a video, but he's had a live stream. It might be a little bit different, and he was happy to come on here and do that. So, without further ado, I'm gonna start interviewing him, and we're gonna get his experience. So, Zach, what has been your experience having ADHD?
Uh, my experience having ADHD, it kind of made things more difficult, I guess, just in general. Like, it's like more difficult to just kind of exist as a human being compared to other people. Like people can just like do things and focus easily, while where I have to it's a conscious effort for me to actually pay attention to things people are saying and what they're doing and just remember things and yeah.
Okay, so how has that affected you like in your everyday life with life at home maybe and life at school?
Uh, it has affected me uh like right now I'm losing my train of thought. um that's one example.
No
Um
pressure. You're only live on the internet. It's all
Yeah,
good.
only in front of a bunch of people, no pressure, of course. Um, so it has affected me. What did you ask again?
At home. So let's
At
do one
home.
thing at a time. So how has it affected you at home? Like when I'm asking you to maybe do things, you need to get ready for school or you need to clean your room or you need to whatever, fill in the blank.
Yeah, so it affects me it makes it difficult to get myself to do the things that I need to do. Like you'll ask me to do something and then I'll try and do it, but I just can't make myself actually get up and do it. And um it's when I do it, when I actually do it, then it's like I do it really slowly, and it's difficult to do it in a normal fashion.
Okay, and then so then I would maybe ask you to do something like let's just say brush your teeth, let's say. And for me, without having ADHD, it's like, well, that task should not take more than 5 minutes. So let's say I said, go brush your teeth, and then 5 minutes have gone by and you haven't started brushing your teeth. So then I would come back and maybe remind you a few more times. Were there emotions that you felt associated with things like that?
Uh, no emotions with asking me the first time. Like you'd come in and you'd ask me to brush my teeth or take a shower or something the first time, and I'd say okay, and then I'd start trying to motivate myself to do it, and I'd start finishing up whatever I was doing. And then you'd come in again and you'd ask me to do it again, and that's when I would start feeling emotions. I start getting a bit annoyed because you've already asked me and I'm already trying to get myself to do it, and so it's and from my point of view it just seems like you're just being redundant by just over and over go do it when I'm already trying to do it. So it's just you would keep asking me, and the more you would ask me the more annoyed I would get, and then it would spiral off into an argument or something.
So is it fair to say then in those instances you would get angry?
Hmm.
So you'd have, oh, hello, Pixel.
Hi.
She's very active right now. She doesn't understand why we're both here in front of the camera, maybe. I don't know. There
Looking out
was
the window
your
for birds.
Pixel close up for the evening. She'll probably go back by in a minute. Anyway, so tell us then about your emotional control then.
What emotional control? Practically none.
Okay.
um, yeah, so um, Emotional control has always been like a difficult thing for me. Like staying calm in completely normal situations, it's just difficult. Like keeping myself cool and collected and normal.
Okay. So we talked about at home and how that would affect you at home. What about at school?
uh, at school, it just like it makes it difficult to like keep track of like due dates, like time, I guess, and what's it called? It makes it difficult to like pay attention and like listen to what I'm told.
So how about the day-to-day just getting assignments done? Because the way school is now, whether we like it or whether we don't like it, um, especially high school, it's almost like a list of assignments, right? That's going to have to be done for the semester for all your 7 classes.
Hmm.
And how is that to like try to have work completion?
Um, what do you mean?
Like complete your work. Like you have to complete these assignments, and that is, although the completion of those assignments is going to make your grade happen or not happen. So what is it like when you have assignments to complete?
Uh, it's like um, so it's like I can see that I have to do the assignments, but I can't bring myself to do them. Like I'm trapped, kinda. I like can't make myself go and actually do it, and like even though I know I have to, and I like every time I try, then like even if I manage to make myself start doing it, then that's only half the battle because I still have to actually do it. And then like I'll get demotivated through the middle of it, and then I'll just like 5 minutes in, I'll just be like, well, that's enough for now, and then I'll go take a break and watch YouTube or something.
Okay, so not only getting motivated is an issue as well as staying motivated being an issue.
Yes.
And then have you noticed in high school that that's had some consequences, maybe different than middle school or elementary school?
Not really. It's about the same. It's just my grade goes down, and then I get in trouble with my teachers, and then I struggle to fix it, and then I do or don't fix it, and then things happen like that. Just it's kind of the same.
Okay. So some people have said to me, oh, friends I've met online and people in real life, because I'm a teacher, I see a lot of kids with ADHD. I talk to a lot of parents of kids with ADHD. So I've heard this analogy a lot that it's ADHD. It's kind of like there's almost like this invisible wall in front of you, and so it's like you want to do the things, but there's just this wall that's blocking you. And I asked you about this the other day, and your answer was like very interesting to me. So I'd like you to maybe answer that again for the people watching.
Yes. So for me, it's not really a wall because a wall you can climb over, you can go around. That's a surmountable object. It's more of like a blanket that's like surrounding me and smothering me. Like I can't escape it. When you're stuck in a blanket, like you can't do anything. Like you're no matter how you struggle, you can't get out and you can't get around it because it's all around you. It's surrounding you.
Okay, so you feel kind of trapped inside a blanket that's just smothering you and making it impossible to basically get out. And so it
Hmm.
stops you from doing things. Now, we talked about how it affects you at home and how it affects you at school. What about with things that, because those might be things that the adults are asking you to do, right?
Hmm.
That a lot of kids might not always want to do, like clean their room or all those things that, do your homework or whatever.
Hmm.
But what about things that you yourself even want to do? Have you struggled with anything like that?
Um, it's easier if I want to do it. It's more like a wall in that sense. Like if
Mm,
it's something I actually want to do, then it's easier for me to actually do it because I want to.
hmm.
So like I can uh like if I'm say just like if there's something I want to do, but I'm like too lazy to do it, or like I just like can't get myself to go do it, like no motivation, then I can more easily motivate myself. I can easily pass the wall
Mm.
because I actually want to do it. So there's already like a pre-existing motivation there of my want to do it.
Pixel, sorry, I don't know what she's doing. She's never this active. It's funny. She's playing with something. She's tackling something. Okay, so when it's something that you want to do, like your own idea, you still notice something blocking you, but it's maybe not as quite as difficult. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it only would take me like a couple minutes maybe to surmount the wall and actually make myself go do it.
Okay. So then what happens from my perspective then is, your whole life, especially since school has started, because when school starts, you have a schedule. Not you, Zach, but people, people in the world. School starts and then we have a schedule we have to follow, and I have a job I have to get to. And so it's been a struggle for all the years since you've been in, I guess, TK, even preschool to some extent, to get you going and to get you out the door. And we've been late a lot of, not being successful with those mornings going very smoothly. Would you agree with that?
Hmm.
A lot of fighting. Would you agree with that? Like anger on both sides.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that. And that's not fun because obviously you're my son and I want to have a good relationship with you. And so over the years, we have tried a whole bunch of things, right? To try to help you, make you more successful. Can you maybe tell people watching what some of those things have been? And then if you forget some of them, I can always kind of, like, I just thought of a couple more too that I didn't think of before because we've done a lot of things. But
Yeah.
you want to talk about those?
So we've tried um 504, an IEP, ADHD medicine, green tea. We've tried. I'm blanking. There's a couple more. Oh, I know these. um, you mind saying the rest? I can't remember. I can't think
So
of
do
it.
you remember when we tried to set a timer for you? That was when you were really little.
I don't remember that.
We would try to set a timer for him, like, because he didn't like the reminders. Like the reminders would just send him right over the edge with he would just get
I remember
angry.
that.
So, yeah, see. So we would set a timer. We would try going in and saying preemptively, like, okay, in 10 minutes, you will need to whatever, to try to, get your mind ready that we're gonna have to do those things.
It's. I think the reason that didn't work is because I didn't fully understand the ADHD at that point because I was, as you said, I
Mm,
was young, so I didn't understand that I had to motivate myself beforehand, and those still in my mind were just reminders, just like beforehand. So like in my mind, it was still you coming in and bothering me over and over, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Like it's just
mm,
like that was still getting to me the same way that a normal reminder to. That's why that didn't really do anything for me.
yeah. So we've tried a lot of strategies. Do you feel like, so you mentioned you breezed through some like pretty heavy duty strategies. So the IEP, and actually currently he's on a 504. Those are things to help you at school. Have any of the What are some of the strategies or things that are in that document, and have any of them helped you? Like not considering the last 3 weeks.
Uh,
Extra time on tests, separate setting on tests, um like text to speech. When you were younger, you could do text to speech on the Chromebook because your typing was a little bit slower. Take a picture of the notes instead of having to take notes. Are these things ringing a bell?
uh,
Some of them you have now and some of them you had before.
Yeah, those are familiar. I never really paid attention in the meetings because, again, ADHD. That's the whole reason why I'm here. Um, but
But
yeah,
your teachers are supposed to be doing those for you. Do any of those help you?
they're supposed to be doing those for me. I was always told that I had to go tell them when I wanted them
So
done.
in high school, yes. In high school, you are supposed to advocate for yourself and you are
Mhm.
supposed to go and say, I need more time on this test, or I need a separate setting. I need to go to the other, whatever that place is called, where you can go take a test in a different room.
Yeah.
But in elementary school and middle school, wasn't so much up to you. Like the teachers were supposed to be providing that stuff. So
Mm.
have any of those things, like any of them, helped you be more successful at all?
I mean, a couple of them, most of them just were neutral. I mean, a lot of them were like giving me a different environment. Like one, I remember I like went on walks in the hallway if I was feeling overwhelmed and
Mhm.
like testing another area.
Mhm.
Since the ADHD is not an external thing, it's in my mind. Those are just new environment didn't really do much for me. It's like
Even though there's fewer people in it?
it wasn't the other people distracting me because the other people, like for the test one, for example, like they were focused on their tests, they were doing stuff. It was me who was distracting me. I was in my
Mm.
own head thinking about my own things, doing my own stuff. Like
Huh.
it wasn't other people bothering me. It was myself. I was the blanket.
You were your own blanket. Okay. And if you just came in, you missed a pretty cool metaphor that Zach has for his ADHD being like a blanket that sort of is surrounding him and he's kind of trapped inside of it and he can't get out. Um, okay. So what about the things that we've given you like ingesting? Like we'll start with fish oil. Do you remember the fish oil?
I do remember the fish oil. It was
Hmm.
very gross.
Yes. Agree.
Scarred me for life.
I wouldn't go that far, sir. It was pretty gross. Most people can take fish oil with a pill, but because of your sensory issues, you still struggle to swallow pills. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I can take
Yeah.
small pills, but even so, pills that like just basic like medium-sized pills like those I cannot do.
Yeah.
Like or well, I physically can do them. Like if there's no way for me to like chew them or like turn them into a liquid or powder or something, then I'll still do it if I have to take the pill. But I hate every second of it.
Yeah. So it's just tricky to swallow that down. So when he was younger, we did fish oil. And the reason for that is it has been shown to help with the emotional dysregulation. So actually, for my older son who also has ADHD, I notice a big difference when he takes his fish oil, or when he was a kid. He's 18 now, but when he took his fish oil versus when he didn't, I mean, it didn't necessarily help with the distractibility, but the emotional dysregulation, it was like night and day if he had not been taking his fish oil. So for you, Zach, did you notice any difference when you took the fish oil versus when you didn't? Or was it just something gross that mom was making you do?
Just something gross that mom was making me do.
And I would agree. So I did not notice the same benefits for this one as I did with my other one. So after a while, I did stop pushing that. After trying all of the strategies, the school plans, the fish oil, we even tried green tea. So that was something else that we tried. Do you remember? It was mostly in fifth grade because that's when you were basically in my class.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit? The green tea situation?
So I would have green tea in the mornings and at lunchtimes if I remember correctly. And I'd say it helped a little bit. It made me more calm and collected,
Mm.
but the only issue was it wasn't stable. Like I would have like it would run out very quickly, and like sometimes it would just like not do anything at all, and sometimes it would do it better than it did other days, and like
Mm.
it would like like sometimes it would look like it's doing fine, and then one moment I'm fine, and then the next moment I'm right back to ADHD, and then the next I'm fine again.
Mm.
So it's like it was just very unstable. It didn't work like consistently.
So I have something to run past you.
Hmm.
He doesn't know what I'm going to say.
I do not.
Somebody said in a comment after one of the Linus Lifestyle episodes, it was a mom, and she put in the comment, I had never heard this before. So I had heard a lot about the reason for green tea is the caffeine. Do you remember
Hmm.
that part? So the caffeine is supposed to help people with ADHD. It kind of does the opposite. So, or it stimulates the part of the brain in ADHD people that's like under stimulated and like needs it or something. Anyways, it kind of has the net effect of doing the opposite of what it does for people without ADHD. And I had never heard this before in all my years. I wish I had heard it when you were younger. But this is what she said. And you tell me what you think about this. So she said, when her child was 8, and having a lot of symptoms. Somebody told her, and she doesn't remember who, to do a cup of coffee with a protein shake. Okay. Or like, like we have that chocolate protein or that vanilla protein that you like.
Mhm.
And here's why, because I guess the protein is supposed to go with the caffeine and then it like stabilizes and makes the caffeine like last longer.
Mm.
Because that was the problem with the green tea, right? Like what you just said. So I don't know if that's something we can get into later, but just file that away in the back of your memory for now.
Mhm.
Because now I want to get into medication because that was something that I never thought that I would do for my kids. I never thought that I would put either of my kids on the medicine from the doctor
I
because there are very serious side effects that go along with that.
I do remember when we were doing the green tea, so you did say, like, "I'm never putting you on medicine, so I really hope this works," or something
Yeah,
like that.
I really didn't want to do it. That was before your brother even got on his medicine.
Mhm.
The reason I started the medicine is because cost benefit analysis. I tried everything with my older son too. And when he started high school, he was basically just failing all of his classes. And in high school, they get very serious about that. So if you fail a class, you've got to do summer school to make it up, or you have to make it up online. And if you fail too many classes, you end up in continuation. You end up without a diploma. You end up, maybe if you're lucky, a certificate of completion. And that just wasn't a life pathway that was going to be good for him. So we started him on medicine, and the very first day taking the medicine, I'll never forget it. I said, "So how'd it go today?" And he said his eyes lit up, and he said, "The thing that I was working on was the thing that I was focused on."
I said that?
No, not you, your brother.
Oh.
Your brother. I'm telling your brother's story. And so he didn't know what to make of that. He had never experienced that a day in his life, that the thing that he was working on was the thing that he was focused on. And from that point on, his grades went from D's and F's to A's and B's. You guys, and then the pandemic happened. And we had to go to school online, and that was the end of that. So, yeah, I often wonder, had that not been our experience, had he just been able to continue, not have to go to school online, because that was really not successful. He did not do well. It just wasn't a good situation for him. Even with the medicine, he was not successful in that arena. And then coming back, after that year of being online, he never came back to those few months of success that he had. He did graduate. I mean by the skin of his teeth, but he did graduate with a diploma, not a certificate of completion. So when this one was getting ready to go into high school, and you see the exact same struggles, right? It's the exact same type of thing going on. Wanting him to be able to succeed. It's like, okay, let's try this medicine. I think we started in 8th grade, I want to say.
Wasn't it, like, late 7th
Might
grade?
have been late 7th grade because it does take a while to get the dose dialed in. And I wanted him to have the chance to try it out and see because, he was having the exact same struggles, and I didn't want him to have to, fail
Mhm.
classes and make them up and redo them because you sit there through the whole semester and then there you are redoing it again, either online or in summer school. Like, why are you doing everything twice, right? It seemed to help his brother, at least to some extent, especially at first. So let's give it a try. So we really struggled. I'm gonna let Zach tell it. We really struggled with medication, and it took us probably 2 years, year and a half, to actually get him to where he was actually taking it. Do you want to talk about that? It was mostly because of the pill swallowing, and you just wouldn't swallow them. Do you remember that when you first started?
Vaguely.
Okay, well,
Um,
tell the part you remember.
uh, so when we first got the medicine, I took it for, like, the first month or so, I believe, and, I really hated swallowing the pills, and to me, it didn't feel like anything was changing, though she tells me that my grades were improving and that she could see a difference. And then it so since I didn't feel like it was a difference at all in my head, then I like all it was to me was just taking a dumb pill that I didn't want to take. I stopped taking the pill, and I was just putting them in my room in some drawer somewhere. I don't know where. I forgot. But I was just like hiding them away, and I wasn't actually taking them. And uh, that probably lasted for like 2 years or so. But eventually, we switched my medication to one that could be opened up and into like, and you could like pour a powder inside of a drink, which could be like drunk.
Mhm.
And then uh, from there, that's when I started taking it again.
Okay. So yes, we tried. There's a liquid one that's available. The insurance denied it multiple times. Um and then so yes, we found this one. And then what did you notice from that? Because I you did take it faithfully after that for several months. And I always wanted his input, as you could see, he's very intelligent, and I don't live inside of his head, only he does. And I know that the side effects, can be serious, and we didn't want to have to do it if it wasn't helping. So I would ask him, because when you're on medication like that, you have to go be seen by the doctor every 3 months. And so I would ask him, like, when those appointments were getting ready to come up, like, how is this working for you? How are you feeling on it? And in your opinion, Zach, was that medicine helping you in any way, shape, or form?
Technically, so it was making me do my work, and it was making me like succeed, I suppose. But the issue with that is the making me part. It didn't feel like it was me who was succeeding. It felt like the medicine was forcing me to do the right things. The ADHD was still there. It was just suppressed, like held back to like instead of I suppose it'd be like instead of like convincing someone to do their work, you grab their hand and like gave them a pencil and physically made them just like write down all the stuff and like do it all correctly
Mm.
instead of just convincing them. So it was like it just kind of like it felt like I was like trapped and forced to do the things. Like I would take the medication and then I would like think about if I was going to do the assignment or not, and then I would not want to, but then I would end up doing it anyway, like out of my own control.
So then the results, even though you were getting positive results, is this fair to say? Even though you were getting positive results in terms of getting your work done, you didn't like the way that it made you feel mentally. I
Yes.
think I can remember you saying this. Tell me if I got this wrong. I think I can remember him saying, it's like I can still feel the ADHD there, and like I still want to have to like wiggle and stuff to get all my energy out, but like it stops me from wiggling, but like I need to wiggle, but I can't wiggle. Right?
That just my exact words, yes. You can tell from all the stuttering in her sentences.
So you can see why that would make a person feel uncomfortable if it's like they feel like they need to move, but it's like keeping their body still but not keeping their mind still, right?
Kind of like an out of body experience, I
Mm.
guess. It's like you're in your body, you're watching yourself do all these things, but it doesn't feel like you're the one doing it and you want to be doing other
Mm.
things. Like you want to do other stuff, but
Hmm.
you can't.
So that's no way to live. Right, Ellie? Ellie, if you're still here, doesn't that sound similar to something that you went through? It's no way to live. And so we took him off the medication. And we just kind of went through life, just doing the best we could. Also additional to the ADHD, he struggles with, sensory integration processing. It does affect all 5 of his senses, but the one that I wanna focus on here, has to do with textures, especially around eating. And so most of the things that he would wanna eat or not even wanna eat, would I should say really would be able to eat, right? Are things with little to no texture,
Hmm.
like very, very smooth things like yogurt, things like that. And so I think he's reading your comments. I gotta
No,
no?
I was I already read that one.
Oh,
I was just remembering the time because you're talking about like the texture thing. When you said had like when you said it's more like could eat, then it reminded me of like that one time like so long ago you tried to get me to eat squash and I took one bite, didn't even get to swallow it yet, instantly just threw up projectile vomiting all over the place.
I remember that.
That's why I was laughing because I
Yeah, we were supposed to keep trying to introduce foods, and that was before my carnivore keto days, when I thought vegetables, he really was going to be deficient because he was missing out on those vegetables. Now, to be fair, he was probably deficient too because he was not eating a lot of meat either.
I was still smarter than you though. I wasn't eating the vegetables. You didn't know it at the time, but I was right.
True story, sir. True story. See, Susie is right on board with you. Squash is nasty.
I agree.
Um, so, that really limited what he could eat, and it limited even our ability to give him meat. I remember there was even times we would try like chicken legs or things like that. He was like, nope. Like he would do chicken nuggets, like the highly processed ones that aren't good for you.
I love chicken legs now.
Yes. He would do those. But in terms of other meat, I don't think he was really eating any other meat. I'm trying to think. I think that was like your only meat, right? Because
I would
you
have
did like a
hot
lot.
dogs. I mean,
Oh,
those are
hot dogs.
pretty processed, but like still meat.
Yeah, meat. That's true. So hot dogs, not with a bun though. You never really liked them in a bun, huh? But with macaroni and cheese though, you guys. And processed chicken nuggets. That was it. Everything else was like cheese. Like quesadillas, pizza with cheese. Eventually, he did upgrade to at least pepperoni on the pizza. That's a little bit more meat, but that was much later on.
Yeah,
Also,
that was like 8th grade. The first time I'm in
pepperoni.
9th right now. That's
Yeah. So, he just struggled, and he's not kidding. Like he would legitimately throw up. It wasn't just like, oh, spit it out, or ew, I don't like this. I'm going to, swallow this one bite and not eat anymore. It was legitimately throwing up. We worked really hard, and nothing seemed to be really successful. And we, as you could see, had a lot of other battles. And so that wasn't a battle, that I really wanted to tackle. Because we would have fights in so many other ways. Thanks, David. David says, hello all. Wow, handsome son. I agree, David. And so that just wasn't a battle that, because I wasn't really zeroed in on nutrition, it didn't occur to me that, nutrition could really help. And so it just wasn't a battle I wanted to fight because we were fighting so many other battles, right? You got to pick those battles. Like Pixel is picking a battle with her tail right now. She's up there chasing her tail. You got to pick those battles. And that just wasn't a battle that I wanted to pick. And so I just didn't. But at one point you get real tired of every family gathering, the family's going to be having fill in the blank, whatever it is. And here I am packing food, actually for both of my kids, because my other one has a severe peanut allergy. And I just got done. Like at this point, they're, teenagers. And so I think it was Thanksgiving, this last Thanksgiving in 2023, when I said, all right, look, here's what's going to be at the gathering. You can either eat the food at the gathering, or you can bring something from home, but you're doing it yourself. Like I am not doing this anymore. So you choose. So how did you feel about that, Zach? And what choice did you make? And what do you remember? Like what you ended up eating?
It was beef, wasn't it? I think it was
It
beef.
was actually pork. It was that
pork.
meat in the crock pot.
Oh, the beef was the Costco beef was at the next
That
one
was
at Christmas. Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about Thanksgiving.
Okay. So at Thanksgiving, I don't think you just like stopping like packing my own food would have worked very well, like if it was any other time, because at that point I had already started like trying other foods on my own. Like I don't think I think you kind of knew, but I don't think you were very aware of this. Like I was like at school, I'd be trying like the chicken thighs and stuff just on my own, and like all the other different school foods, and like if one of my friends had some food that I'd never seen before, I'd be like, "Ooh, let me try." Like I just was actually trying new things instead of just seeing something new and being like, "I don't like it," despite having never tried it. I was actually trying new things and then deciding if I liked it or not from that point. So then Uh, that's like because before I would just refuse to try new things. So like at that point, I had already started trying new things. So I was like okay with just trying the Thanksgiving food. I was like, why not? Might as well. So we went over there. I tried the pork, and I was like, it's pretty good. And then
From what I remember, you had just a plate full of meat.
yeah, because I still like I've never liked vegetables, so it wasn't because I was wanting to do carnivore or anything. There was nothing else there that I would have wanted to eat. I
Okay.
just saw the meat and I was like, yep, that's probably the only thing I would ever want to try. So meat.
Yeah, I think there was pork in the like a pork shoulder, and that was what appealed to you the most. And then I made a picanha,
Hmm. I didn't
and
try a picanha
then
then.
no, you didn't, not
Yeah,
then.
I only tried picanha after Christmas.
Yeah. And then there was turkey, and then everybody else. So my mom is meat-based keto. And so she and I brought all the meat, and then everybody else brought whatever they were going to bring. And I don't remember, I don't even know what it was because I didn't even look at it, but I know there wasn't any mac and cheese. And
Mm,
I was glad for that because if there had been mac and cheese,
num num num.
yeah, he would have definitely eaten that. And I don't think this whole thing would have happened, the way that it went down. So I 100% agree that his taste buds, yeah, it's starting to mature. The texture is still an issue to some degree, but not not as extensive, as it once was. And David says he's young enough to where his body still wants to reject plants instinctively. I didn't really ever force him to either. He's not in the clean your plate club, right? You've never been like, you must clean your plate. See, he doesn't even know what that means. He's
I
like
never heard
confused.
of that.
See? So parents used to make us clean our plates. And if we didn't clean our plates, we had to stay at the table until we cleaned our plates.
Yeah,
So I never did that with you because I never thought that was healthy or a very good idea.
yeah, it isn't.
Right. So you were not a member of the Clean Your Plate Club.
There would have been a lot more arguments if you did
Right,
that.
100%. But
Following authority, never been a thing with ADHD.
yeah, you have a hard time following authority. That's true. So anyway, I was very glad, in retrospect, that there wasn't any macaroni and cheese there, and he ate that pork. And I think there may have been leftover pork. I don't know. I don't remember if there was or if I brought it home at
No, that
Thanksgiving.
was the Christmas one. You're thinking of with the
Yeah.
beef because there was leftover beef, and I asked, "So can you bring home the beef that was really, really good?"
Yeah, so at Christmas, my brother made a beef roast, and Zach just ate it and loved it. And like he just said, asked to bring the leftovers home and asked me to heat them up for him the next day. And so then at that point, I was like, wow, he's really like starting to enjoy this meat. Let's like try to get his dinners a little bit more, in line, unbeknownst to him, right? I didn't tell him that. I just sort of started doing it and just trying to introduce, more meat. I think I made another thing in the crock pot, things like that. It wasn't every day, but we were getting his dinners more and more like meat based, I would say. We would still throw in the other standard American food, but there were definitely maybe 3 to 4 dinners a week that were full on like meat. Um, Pieces of chicken, like I said, the meat in the crock pot, like a roast in the crock pot. I think I did another pork shoulder because I still had some of that same pork that grandma had made, and
Hmm.
I made it again. Stuff like that. And then it was like, well, he's liking this stuff. Like maybe we can get his breakfast in line because up to now he's been eating like oatmeal, like baby oatmeal, because oatmeal has texture, which he doesn't like, but like the baby oatmeal is like smooth. And yogurt, like the bad yogurt, like Yoplait yogurt, almost every single
Yeah,
day for breakfast.
that started when I was like 2, right? Like 3, something.
What, the oatmeal?
Yeah.
You ate it even when you were a baby. It was
Um,
one of your first foods.
so yeah, I've literally been eating that oatmeal my whole
Yeah,
life.
his whole life. So bad. I mean, I didn't know, right? But yeah, his whole life. And so I thought maybe we can get his breakfast because yeah, that was just appalling to me now that I know what I know about nutrition. And so I thought, will he? Because I've tried eggs a few times. I've tried them, rejected.
You did?
Um, yeah, a few times, like once or twice throughout your.
I remember you made like this thing with like bananas and milk one time, but I don't remember
No,
deviating off of the oatmeal thing.
no, we tried eggs a couple times. It was a no go. But I thought, okay, let's just try this. And so I did a couple of like scrambled eggs with some butter, a little bit of butter and some sausage, and lo and behold, and I think some cheese probably. So sometimes cheese, sometimes not now, but and he liked it and he ate that. And then That might not even been the first thing. Maybe the pancakes would or the crepes might have been
I
the
think
very first thing.
it was
So
the pancakes before the crepes.
yeah,
So it
so
was
I
probably
make
pancakes.
pancakes with like eggs and cream cheese and protein powder, and that's what it was first. And he liked those, and it's like, well, now he likes the eggs. And so it's like, I thought to myself, well, maybe it's time to propose to him, like, okay, this ketogenic way of eating, meat-based ketogenic way of eating has been shown to help different brain issues, including ADHD. And I think that's kind of what I said to you, right? When I brought it up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had been watching me do this for about a year now. And so I asked him, like, what would you think about giving this a try for 30 days to see how it affects you? So that's my point of view on the conversation. What's your point of view on that conversation that we had?
So like, I mean, mainly it was just like curiosity, I'd say, that made me accept, because I was just like, well, it's probably better for me. And then I was like, and I kind of want to try that stuff. I mean, I could see it being good. And for like a couple of years at that point, like sometimes I'd just be in my room and I'd be thinking of what to eat, and then all of a sudden I just get a craving to just like bite into a big steak or something, just meat. So then I'd just be like, I can try it now. I can do that. So then yeah, I just like, I never asked her about the just eating meat like that beforehand, because I was just like, uh I figured that's unrealistic. That's like only cavemen just grab a piece of steak and just like, then no one,
Caveman or your mom?
or my mom, because at that point she hadn't been doing it. You hadn't been doing any of this. Like, I hadn't even heard of this before. Like
Yeah.
when I was thinking like that,
Okay.
and then as you started doing this, that just became more and more realistic of something that I could theoretically try just because I wanted to.
Okay. And did you have any hopes? Did you have any hopes that you would wish to happen? Like results that you would wish to happen for your ADHD specifically?
In
Or
general, or when
yeah.
we were talking about the
When we were
conversation?
talking about the diet, like did you okay, I'm going to try this, and did you like, maybe this will help in this specific way? Did you have any hopes for like what it would do for your brain?
Not really. I just wanted to try it.
Just wanted to try it. Okay. So I think we waited a few days because what did you say to me about a specific food being very hard to give up? Do you remember?
Ice cream.
Ice cream will be the hardest thing to give up. That's what he said. He is not wrong. Not wrong at all. So, oh, that's cool. David said, NBC News morning show did a feature show on keto and how it may help autism, ADHD, and other mental issues. It was very positive. Hard to believe they actually broadcast it. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, carnivore ice cream. You want to talk about that? We haven't been very successful, but I tried.
He tried.
I tried. We have one in the freezer that we're going to try after this and see how it comes out. So what did we do to try with that? I told you. What did I tell you?
So, wait, what do you mean? What did you tell me? Which part?
About the ice cream, because you said ice cream is going to be the hardest to give up. Did I say, yeah, no desserts? You're just in for no desserts, and is that what I said? What did I say?
So, sorry, I just lost my train of thought again. That's why. So, you said that carnivore ice cream does exist, and like, just like desserts in general for like keto and carnivore, they exist. And then you talked about buying the Ninja Creamy to make that stuff with. And you said you wouldn't have done it before, but then now that I'm doing it, you figured like it's something that you could like, you'd get profit out of it. I guess not really profit, but
Not
like
profit, but benefit.
Wrong word, benefit.
The benefit for you would outweigh the cost of the machine.
Yes,
it's not something that I eat or would want to eat necessarily, but for him, making this way of eating sustainable, his weight is on point. He's healthy. We're not worried about that. So we did that. Now we haven't been successful yet.
Butter
and like gross butter too. It's so weird. Anyways,
it's so bad. I hate it.
I know it is gross, but we've been successful with some other desserts, which we can talk about in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So I did vlog. So this live, by the way, is kind of my vlog for week 3. So this is the week 3 vlog. There won't be a week 3 vlog, and
I'm on the vlog, guys.
yeah, this is a live
Yay.
vlog. But week 1 and week 2, I vlogged kind of my point of view of it and also what he ate during those weeks. But do you want to talk about like the food, a little bit about what you ate? Just name us like 2 or 3 of your favorite things, and then tell us like the results. Like, how have you been feeling?
I was zoned out for the first half of that sentence. ADHD, guys.
Tell us the food that you've been eating. Give us 2 or 3 of your favorite things that you've been eating in the last 3 weeks.
So, I really like the picanha and the pizza pockets. Because those 2 have just been my favorite because I really like the way they taste, and yeah, they're good in general.
Okay, so we have to say shout out to JT Poco Moonshine Fam for that carnivore pizza pocket recipe. And you know how to make them yourself now, right?
Yes, I made them myself today, actually, for
Yeah.
lunch. Without her, this is the first time that I didn't ask her for any input at all. I just did it on my own, and I did them well, and I took them out at the perfect time, and they were really good.
Yeah. So there you go. So he's another benefit is he's learning how to cook, which is super cool. Okay. So picanha and pizza pockets. Awesome. How has your brain, let's say, benefited from and during the last 3 weeks, or changed, or been different?
Um, like how I feel or how I act.
All of it. So start with start with what you want. You want to talk about how you feel first or how you act first?
I mean, I'd say I feel about the same, but that's not because it's not necessarily doing anything. That's because I've never really felt different when things get better for me mentally, I guess, if that makes sense. It's like whenever something changes mentally for me, I feel the same, and then once it's gone, then I feel worse. And then like if it comes back, then I feel normal again. Like I quickly adapt to things being the normal so fast to the point where I don't even feel like anything changed in the first place.
Okay.
Like with the ADHD medicine we were talking about earlier, like when it was having a positive effect on me, and I said I felt the same. That's why I stopped taking it for like a couple years. Like that's the reason why, because it just felt normal at that point. Um, as for how I act, I'd say I'm more motivated and more like uh how do I describe it? It's like I am more outgoing, I guess. Like more motivated, more like willing to try new things, stuff like that.
Okay, so something happened in your room during week 1 that I couldn't even believe.
Um so I was just sitting in my room being like living my normal life, just kind of sitting in my chair doing nothing, being lazy, but the carnivore energy kind of like kicked in, and I just kind of felt like I had to do something. So I did something. I cleaned.
Carnivores, put it in the chat if you've had that experience. My thing was sprinting. Anyways, so what was the thing? The carnivore energy thing.
I spent pretty much that whole week. So my room has always been like a mess. Like, if you went in my room, you'd say like this a hoarder lives here. Like there's like there's just a mess. Like no one's touched this place in 16 years. Like so my room's always been that way. There's just random piles of toys and things and didgeridoos and gizmos and stuff and just everywhere.
Okay.
I'm trying to be entertaining. And so I went to the smaller of the 2 main piles, and I just grabbed a bunch of trash bags, and I put a bunch of stuff in trash bags. I had 2 trash bags open at once. One of them was trash bags of stuff that I wanted to keep, and the other one was trash bags of stuff that I wanted to throw away that I wouldn't use anymore. Because before I would always have trouble throwing things away and like actually like bringing myself to get rid of stuff because like, oh, but what if I need it? What if I need it? What if I want it? Like it's sentimental, stuff like that. I could never get rid of things, so I suppose my room kind of was where a hoarder lived. Um, so I went to the pile and I probably threw away like 10 trash bags worth of stuff out of that pile, and it all just went into
Kitchen size trash bags, right? Like
kitchen trash
kitchen size.
bags, like
Yeah.
big trash bags, and they got like all that stuff just thrown away, gone. No second thoughts, nothing. And then now there's like 4 or so trash bags left in that corner, which I'm planning to take all the stuff out and like organize and put away in my drawers. Um, and I spent like pretty much that whole first week just doing that. Just like every day, I'd like get up, relax for a little bit, then I'd get the motivation and I'd go and like throw all the stuff away and clean it up. And now it is not a like this pile was huge. Like I don't think you understand, guys. My lights, like I have a light in that corner where the pile is, and it was almost to the top of where that light is, like a whole lamp,
It's a lamp that stands on the floor like
and
a
goes up.
5-foot tall lamp. Yeah,
It's
ish.
probably
Right?
6 feet tall because it's taller than me.
Is it taller than you?
I believe it's taller than me, and I
I didn't
am
think it was
not.
that tall. But anyway, whatever.
And it was like it was at the lampshade.
Yeah, it was
Like
a big pile of
the
stuff.
pile was like literally at the lampshade, and now it's like at the floor. You can barely even see it anymore. And once completely get rid of those bags and like organize all the stuff, then you won't see it anymore because it won't be
Yeah.
there.
So I was actually shocked. I have tried, especially when he was younger. I think I said it in a different live stream. I stopped fighting the room battle 5 or 6 years ago because we have so many other battles, and it just wasn't worth it. But there have been a couple times, 2 or 3 times throughout his life where I've gone in there, spent all day long. He's not even helping me, so I end up doing all the things. He's fighting me on, like, no, I don't want to throw this away, that away. No, what if I need it? What if it's this? It helps me remember this. And so I would have to like try to sneakily get rid of stuff that was trash or broken.
You sneakily got rid of stuff.
No, maybe.
What did you get rid of?
I don't remember because we're talking years ago, dude.
I know.
But it was trying to, like before Christmas, when he was really little, Santa's coming and you're going to get new things. Let's go. So you got to make room for some of the new things. And he just wouldn't want to do it. And it was just a battle. And
I only remember those conversations because of how annoyed I was at the fact that you wanted to get rid of my stuff.
See?
I remember like saying like Santa's coming and we got to get rid of stuff to make room for the new stuff. And then I'd look around and I'd see, but there's plenty of room on that almost invisible countertop. We can place the new stuff there. I want to get rid of it.
He really had a hard time. Really had a hard time. So, thanks, Nia. Nia says, thanks, Zach, for sharing your story. Good luck to you moving forward. You have a super cool mom to do this with.
I agree.
He agrees. Yay. That just made my mom heart so happy. Okay, I'll try not to be such a nerd about it though. Okay, so yeah, all of a sudden the carnivore energy kicked in. He did all of that, and then this really impressed me. One more thing that really impressed me. What did you do with all your broken tech?
I fixed, well, not really fixed. I don't have the tools to actually fix anything broken, but so I have a Chromebook and a laptop and a broken like desktop computer, and I bought a couple of tools to fix them somewhat. I guess the screens on I don't know why I've always been cursed. Every time I have a broken device, it's always the screen. I don't know why. But the screens on all of these things are just like unusable. You cannot see through them. They're all like the glitchy, like rainbow text like stuff. Did I say text? Tech instead of text. It's just like all the lines and stuff. It's all broken. And I bought like things that would allow me to display it on a separate monitor as like kind of a backdoor bypass through the broken screen, so I didn't actually have to fix the hardware. I could just plug it in because I was doing like testing on these devices to see if they worked behind the screen or if it was the whole device that was broken. And on all of them, the device was still working. It was just you couldn't see, so you had to use it blind pretty much. And I managed to fix all of them and make them usable to where I could see the screen and still use them.
And you said something to me when I asked you about that that was super impressive to me about like in the past when you saw all that broken tech laying around. Do you remember what you said?
I do not.
Okay. So I'll relay it and then you say if you remember. He said in the past he just would have like looked at all that stuff. It would have been totally overwhelming. And so he probably just would have gotten on his phone and watched YouTube because he wouldn't have even wanted to like jump in and tackle a big project like that. But with this new energy or motivation or carnivores, as people are calling it, the carnivore zoomies, you had the motivation to like actually do that stuff. And speaking of zoomies,
That's what I was about to say.
and so that was pretty cool because you expressed that to me. Like in the past, you just would have said, "Nah," and just gone and watched YouTube, on your phone and just not tackled it.
I mean, that's what I did do for a while, and then
Right.
I just didn't keep doing that.
Yeah. So the other thing is, where did you get the money to buy that stuff? To buy do you remember?
Mm-mm. Birthday money, was it?
Well, you cleaned your room. And what'd you find in your room? Because you did spend the time to clean your room.
I remember now. It was birthday money.
Uh-huh.
So when I cleaned my room, I found Amazon gift cards. Like one of them was new because I did this around Christmas, and there was another one that I lost years ago.
Years ago. Years.
Yeah, because I never cleaned my room. I lost this thing, like this tiny piece of paper that had an Amazon gift card code, like 4, 5 years ago, and then I never got to spend it. $25 whole dollars. So then I had $50 to buy the stuff that I needed to fix it,
Yeah.
and that's what I did.
So then he fixed it all. So that was really cool. And then the other thing I just wanted to touch on for a second, and then we'll talk about plans moving forward. And there was a few questions I'd like to answer before we hop off. But you said you didn't really notice a difference in the way that you feel, right, in your brain. But I want to point out to you what you said about your emotional regulation.
I said something about my emotional regulation.
Yes, you did. In terms of in the morning trying to get ready for school when I'm trying to get you out the door. Do you remember now?
With the ADHD, I always struggle to remember conversations I've had unless they're like important conversations. Like I don't remember almost any of the casual conversations that I've had. And because I'm half zoned out the majority of my life. I'm just in my head thinking about other stuff, not paying attention really.
Yeah.
It's when you're talking to me, you're most likely talking to my subconscious.
So hopefully that starts to improve over time. You can't expect everything to improve in 3 weeks, but you said that although you still felt annoyed, because I came in your room a couple times to say we got to get out the door. It's almost time to go. So you were annoyed, but you didn't react in anger. You didn't react in you didn't seem annoyed on the outside.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that now.
Do you want to expand on that? Your microphone is attached to that jacket, so
I forgot.
You said you wanted to wear your jacket. So can you expand on that, or do you have anything more to say about that? Because anger, you being very quick to anger has been a very big issue.
Yeah. So expand on what exactly?
About so if I'm asking you to do stuff, yes, you might get annoyed, but how is your ability to control that? How has it changed?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's my ability to control it.
Okay.
It's just not there.
So you're annoyed, but not as annoyed?
I mean, I'm not overreacting anymore. I would before what would happen is she would ask me to do something, and then I would from the first time she would ask me, I'd already be annoyed. Hello, Pixel. I would already be really annoyed, and then she'd ask me to do it again, and then I'd be even more annoyed to the point where I'm about to break down. And then a third time, and I'm pretty much like over the edge at that point, like whole on like like rage, like seething rage, yelling, like
Yep. It didn't take
anger.
much to get him, yeah, he's not kidding. Seething rage, anger. It was not pretty. We've had a lot of incidents like that and episodes like that. All right. Well, how about moving forward? Moving forward with this way of eating, we are now almost done with week 4 because today's Thursday. So this Sunday will be like day 1 of week 5.
Hmm.
So what do you think about moving forward? What do you think your plans are going to be? I mean, 4 times 7 is 28. We had talked about 30 days. Do you think this is something that's worth continuing?
Probably. I mean, like, I'm already on it. There's no reason
Mhm.
to stop. I guess I'm like already used to these food. I'm not missing my foods as much as I thought I would. Probably the main things I've been missing are ice cream because we haven't gotten the carnivore ice cream
We're
figured out yet,
we'll figure it out. We're working on it.
and mac and cheese because that's always been my favorite food. Probably still is my favorite food, but I just can't eat it anymore.
Yeah, you can still have the cheese though. I can make a creamy cheese sauce and put it on some. We'll figure something to put it on. We could try that. We've really worked on. He told me the other day I miss yogurt. So what did we do for yogurt?
We got this like Greek yogurt stuff that
Yeah,
it only has
plain Greek yogurt.
it only had like 2 ingredients or something, right?
Yeah, just a couple and whole milk
Hmm.
and the yogurt cultures.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we just put in some sweetener and some vanilla extract, and then boom,
Yep, there you go.
yogurt.
So he's been happy with that. So yeah, I'm excited for him to move forward because I think, his benefits are just going to keep compounding. So I would like to first, before we answer questions, I just wanted to say I did gift 5 meeting wellness memberships. So congratulations to Susie Underwood and Jay and Stephanie and Lady Casca and Cyber Goose. You guys are all gifted a month-long membership to my channel. So hopefully you'll enjoy that and be on the lookout for some members only live streams coming up on that. And also you now have some emojis. There's a picanha emoji that you get to use when you're a member of my channel. So okay, I want to go in and I know for sure there were some questions. I did highlight some hellos, but we've already been over an hour, so I'm just going to focus on questions. So here's the first one. So how is it, Zach, dealing with your friends or your girlfriend?
Which I don't have.
He does not have a girlfriend. But how about with your friends? Have you noticed any difference?
I mean, with my friends, it's like I guess I've been more energetic. Like in middle school, I'd say like I was like quiet, didn't really talk much, just kind of existed to exist.
Mm,
I didn't really like I was there and I'd like laugh at jokes they made and I'd like, I'd like sometimes add in a couple things, but I'd usually just sit there staring blankly, just mindlessly eating my like super unhealthy school pizza.
mhm.
Just stuff like that.
So do you notice any weird looks or something when you have your lunch now? That's a question I wanted to ask you because he usually brings like a Teton sausage. I just cut it up for him and some cheese, maybe some pepperoni. That's generally what he'll bring, and then a water bottle, sometimes with some electrolytes in it.
Uh,
Does anyone say anything to you? Like, why are you eating that? Nobody
no,
cares. Nobody looks.
yeah, kind of like people don't really care about things anymore. Really, they just kind of like they just exist.
Yeah.
They don't really like things just exist to them. They don't really care.
Okay.
My friends, the first time I brought something that wasn't like I brought my own lunch, they commented on it, but not because they cared that it was like the thing I was eating. They were just like, "You brought something that wasn't the school food," and then
Because
that was the end of
yeah,
it.
he would always do school lunch because they're free. Okay, now Eat My Shorts wants to know any kind of fish, salmon, tuna, sushi, any kind of fish.
I started that one. No,
He did. He starred that one. He clicked it. He wanted to
professional
answer
streamer.
that. Yeah, no. But to be fair, I don't really like fish either. I've just barely introduced some salmon, and I'll do like a can of salmon at lunch sometimes. And I choke it
Yeesh.
down. I don't like it. I just do it because the omega-3s. I try. So I don't know if we'll ever try that maybe at some point, but yeah, right now we're gonna get him doing some more beef, get that dialed in. I have a chuck roast for the crock pot tomorrow, and then I have a picanha for the day after that. So we got a beefy couple of days coming up. And then Eat My Shorts also wants to know, do you play any sports or any kind of physical activity that might help?
No, not other than just like the PE class that I have. I don't do any sports.
Okay, so you take PE, which means you have physical activity at school every day. And then what about band?
I mean, I guess it's not really difficult to carry the drum though, since I'm just on snare drum. I'm in a marching band, but it's like
But they don't do a lot of marching. If they did more marching, you would have more exercise, right? But
sure.
he does have to wear the drum and like walk around with it
I mean, if
some.
I had to carry, like actually carry the drum, which is impossible because I had to, hit it with sticks. But
Hmm.
like, it's that part would be that would make it like exercising. But like, it's like there's like a harness thing that I wear, and just kind of it's like using my back strength to do it, which is like that's easy. Like, you can carry a lot of things on your back.
Yeah. So, but I also think the drumming is good for him too. Just the act of drumming and learning the beats and all of that stuff. He's pretty good, you guys. I had fun at football season. I'm looking forward to next football season.
You had fun with a sport?
No,
Shocker.
I did not cheer for the football team. I cheered for the band. Go band. I did not care about the football. Okay. Susie wants to know. So no, Susie, we're gonna have to do this. Zach, we're gonna have to do this. Have you
Yeah.
tried the recipe that Jonathan Carnivore Muscle has for carnivore cake? It's made from protein powder, butter, and egg. Quite tasty. So I made oopsie
Yeah.
cake, but that was before he was doing this, and there wasn't butter in it or protein powder in that oopsie cake. It was like eggs and
Mhm.
I think heavy cream. I don't remember. It's on my channel. Um,
I never really had cake before I started doing this, so I had cake every once in a while. Like, I've probably eaten a total of like 4 slices of cake in my life,
yeah.
and so like, like
I
I
mean,
only
for your birthday, cupcake.
well, I wasn't really counting those as cake. Cupcakes aren't cake,
They're cake. They're just a little cake.
but no, because they don't taste the same as cake.
You don't think they do?
No.
Wow, okay. He doesn't think the cupcakes taste like cake, you guys. I disagree. It's fine. Anyway, we could try it. Maybe you might like it.
Yeah, but yeah, what I was getting at was the fact that since I have never really eaten much cake, then I never asked for cake because I never really I mean, I liked cake, but I never like, it's never been something that I actually ate a lot, so I didn't care for it.
Yeah, ice cream has been more his thing. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, the one I have in there will turn out tonight. We will see. Okay, and then I think this is the last question, unless any of the live comments. There's 8 live comments that I haven't seen yet because I've been over here, but we'll check. So, have you ever tried meatballs with cheese wrapped in a slice of bacon?
I have not.
No, but you've tried something close.
Have I?
Yeah. So I've made meatballs with some cream cheese in the middle.
Oh, those were really good, yeah.
And then chopped up bacon, like bacon bits. Like, so I made bacon, chopped it up, put that in with the meat. So instead of wrapping the meatball with the bacon, because of his texture, he tends to like bacon. I've tried giving him like a slice of bacon with the eggs. It doesn't go over. See, he
Yeah,
doesn't like
the
that.
I don't
But
I like the taste of bacon, but I don't like eating bacon because
strips of bacon.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, if it was bacon, like, I mean, even when it's, like, put into stuff,
Hmm.
like with those meatballs, like, it's always left over, like, it doesn't swallow in the middle of it, like, it'll be left over in my mouth, and I can, like, still feel it, like, it, like,
Mm.
pokes me, and it's, like, sharp, kinda,
Oh,
it's, like,
okay.
and I have to, like, swallow it separately, it's just
But the
kinda
other day I said, "Do you want your eggs with or without chopped up bacon?" And you said with.
yeah, because it's, like, for when it's chopped up, it's
Okay.
tolerable enough to where the taste outweighs the
The
annoyance.
annoyance. Okay. Well, what about the chicken nuggets with the bacon in them? I made chicken nuggets, you guys, and there's bacon in there,
Those
and
are
both of my kids love those, and my husband too.
Yeah, those were really good. It was, that's what I was mainly referencing actually when I said that
Mm,
the bacon was left over in my mouth after
mm.
each bite.
The last time they were a little bit bigger pieces because I cooked the bacon specially for them. So I chopped the bacon up first instead
Mm.
of instead of doing the bacon in the oven, getting the whole strip crispy and then cutting it. I think that's a little more successful. I think that's why that happened. Yeah, carnivore zoomies makes me think of my cat. Pixel has been having the zoomies throughout this entire live stream. Like, she's been entertaining us big time. All right, you guys, I'm just going to check through the last 8 comments to see if there's any more questions, and then we're going to get him some dinner. He hasn't had dinner yet.
I'm starving.
Yes, I bet he's starving. We have leftover chicken nuggets tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So One Hope for All says, I eat whole plain Greek yogurt once in a while. Yeah, it's pretty good. Less Junk More Health says that you are a smart young man. I agree. He is a smart young man. And Charlie says, sounds like he's doing well so far in keto carnivore. Keep up the great work, Zach. Absolutely. And Karen says, yay, Zach. So great to hear. Nice. Susie says, Zach, you're doing so well. Okay, here's a question from David. Oh, there's a couple questions from David. For Mr. Handsome Guy, that's you, Mr. Handsome Guy. How hard is it to not cheat, like grabbing some chips or cookies while at school? School is just full of that stuff.
I mean, not really hard. I never really have been like it. I would eat it because it was there before, but like I never really like was addicted to that stuff. I mean, school food isn't really that good. It's not that appetizing in the first place.
Yeah. But like at home, you would have chips, you would have Doritos.
Those are interesting. So like before, I loved Doritos. I would eat them all the time, and like I would, if I ever got hungry, then my first option was to go snack on Doritos. Or like if I was really hungry, then I'd make a hot pocket for a meal. But after I started this whole thing, then like I mean, not really after I started this whole thing, like right before I started the whole thing, because I'd been trying, like, I'd been eating more meat. I was basically already on it, but I wasn't like officially on it, and I was still eating like standard American diet stuff. Um, then it would be like 11 o'clock at night. I'd be hungry, and like I can't make a meal at 11 at night, so I'd go and like I when I cleaned up my room, I literally had like 4 bags of Doritos, like unfinished bags of Doritos in there because I lost them. Um, oops, and a couple boxes of white cheddar Cheez-Its. So I um
Saved yourself a lifetime of hoarding, dude. Awesome.
yeah.
Says Julia.
Um
Okay, anyway, yes, because you would
so
snack on those things, right?
yeah, so the one I would always have one where I knew where it was, and apparently 3 other ones that I didn't know where they were. And so I went for it. Like this was one specific instance where I did this. I was hungry, and this is like when I'd already been eating like a lot of meat and stuff. I went for it, and I opened it up, and I ate a couple chips like as normal, and they tasted good. Like I wanted to eat them, but I also didn't want to eat them. Like I just was like, but like these are gross. But then I was like thinking to myself like, but they're not gross. I'm literally enjoying the taste right now. But at the same time, I was like, but they're really gross, and I don't want to eat these. So I rolled up the bag and I put them away and just stayed hungry.
You didn't have to stay hungry. So in the future, you know, you can go get some cheese or some
Oh yeah, but that was
pepperonis.
before I was on.
Yeah,
the
he
diet.
wasn't really on it, but he already has started to notice just eating more meat just made him not really want that other stuff. And then David also wants to know, do you ever catch your mom practicing her child development psychology education on you? David, shh.
Yes, all the time, every second of every day, all the time.
He's gonna out me right here on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't noticed your antics.
Antics? Okay, do you have a serious answer to that question?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean, he hears it from his teachers at school, so he probably hears the same words coming out of my mouth sometimes that he hears from them because
Mrs. Teacher Lady over here.
Yeah, Mrs. Teacher Lady. All right. Yeah, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Less Junk, More Health says thank you. And I'm gonna end on this one. Christy, you have a great guy right there. Yeah, I do. We will keep you posted on how he's doing, on what he's eating, and and how he's doing and all that good stuff. And a lot of good comments in here. Your son Zach is too smart for you. Yeah, you are. You figured me out.
Uh-huh.
This is a great live. Thank you, Christine, Zach. You're welcome, Susie. You guys have a great night. We're going to go feed the teenager.
Need sustenance.
Bye, everybody.